Today, I'm talking about the benefits of working with a local lender, so stick around. Hi there, my name is Rebelann-Mueller, and I'm a realtor here in the Boise and Treasure Valley area with Better Homes and Gardens, 43 Degrees North Real Estate. I moved here about 17 years ago with my family, and now I'm lucky enough to help other people just like you do the exact same thing. So if you're interested in relocating to the area, down below in the description of this video is a great relocation guide and is chock full of information about what it's like to live, work, and play here. Today, I am bringing on Bill Haskins with Finance of America, and he's going to tell us why it's important to work with a local lender. Hi, Bill.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. So where do you want to start?
Well, let's talk about how we met. So we've been working together for how long?
Oh, 3.5 to 4 years. How long have you been a realtor? 4 years?
4 years.
4 years.
Okay.
So if I remember correctly, and you just brought this up, I helped you close your very first loan.
You did. Yes, you did.
So a little under 4 years ago. So
and we've never missed a closing, right?
never. We have not missed a closing date yet. Yeah, knock on wood. So I'm Bill Haskins at Finance of America. I'm a mortgage advisor for the company. I've been in the real estate industry, 16 years. So 10 years, for 10 years, I owned a Coldwell Banker real estate office, and I was the principal broker for the office. So I had upwards anywhere from 35 to 40 agents reporting, that worked for my company. And so I was the principal broker and reviewed all the contracts and did a lot of that in the state of Oregon. And then in 2015, I sold the company and decided to just kind of on a whim move to Boise. Didn't have a job, really didn't know what I was going to do when we moved here. And I decided,
like a lot of people we talk to,
like a lot of people we talk to nowadays, don't know what we're going to do, but we're moving to Boise. So, so I did that, and I don't know, I remodeled a house for about 6 months, and then I decided that I really didn't want to go back to the real estate side because I didn't know anybody in Boise. I literally knew one person in Boise when I moved here. But I've always loved and I understand the finance side of real estate really, really well. So that was has always been my passion, is the finance side. So I decided to jump in with both feet and go full time. And I actually started with a different company and had a phenomenal trainer who taught me how to do loans really, really well. Okay. And so, hats off to Dominique Love, if you're out there. She was my trainer, and she was absolutely phenomenal. So, and then moved over to Finance of America about 2 years ago. We're coming up on 2 years now. Okay. So absolutely love this place.
So what are some of the benefits then of working with Finance of America?
Well, there's a lot, as you know. So probably the biggest thing that I love about Finance of America is, one, all of my processors are right downstairs. My underwriters, we have 2 local underwriters. They sit in the offices right next to us. Mm-hmm. So if I ever have guideline questions, or if I have a loan that, might have a couple of challenges or a lot of layers to it, we can walk in, sit down with our underwriters and have a conversation about how we're going to structure the loan or how to make it work. Right.
So that it's successful.
So it's successful. And not a lot of lenders have their underwriters right there. Their underwriters are spread all throughout the country. Mm-hmm. So
everything's done in-house then?
Everything's done in-house.
So you have that direct communication?
Our closers are here. Our processor who gets the loan ready. Mm-hmm. After we get the contract accepted, our processor goes in, cleans everything up, and then that submits that to our underwriter. Cool. And so they're right here. And then our closers, although we do use a couple of closers out of the Portland area, we're in direct contact with them. They work with our local title companies on a daily basis. So, and the other part about just being local is I know our title clerks. Many of the title clerks that you use and I use, we go to lunch together. We talk about things. And there's just benefits of having that local knowledge right here. So I think that's probably the biggest thing. Our management team here is absolutely phenomenal. They, as you know,
I do.
They support us like crazy. And they support our clients as well. So, they allow us to do some things to help our clients out that a lot of companies don't let us do. So.
Right. And I can say one of the things that I benefit from by working with you is the fact that your communication is phenomenal.
Thank you.
So I don't think there's ever been one time when I have called you, emailed or texted you, and you haven't gotten back to me within 5 minutes if he doesn't answer the phone.
Right.
So if you don't, I actually get worried that something's wrong with you.
Well, and that's, that comes from being on the real estate side and from dealing with, lenders that didn't communicate or didn't do their job very well. And as the broker, I always had to get involved and try to fix those issues, right? Because our lenders weren't responding or something wasn't happening. And so that's one of the commitments I made to myself when I started this was I would not be one of those lenders.
Well,
if my phone rings, unless I just really am busy and can't get it, I usually pick up, but I always, and there's very few times I've missed this, I always call with it before the end of the day. Before I stop work, I go back through and make sure I've returned all my phone calls. So
right. And that I think is one of the benefits of working with a local lender too, is that we're in the same time zone. We kind of have the same hours, which is around the clock, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Especially lately.
But if I'm to call one of the larger banks, I have to go through all this process of dial 1, dial 2, or whatever to get whoever you want.
And if it's after 5 o'clock, you don't get them.
Or a weekend.
Or a federal holiday, they don't pick up.
Right. So. And that's when real estate's happening, is after hours and on the weekends, typically.
Yeah, so the majority of times that you and I talk or when we're doing pre-approvals or when is usually evenings or weekends. Because that's when our clients have off, to be able to go look at real estate. And so, yes, of course we do business throughout the week, but I would say probably 60% of the stuff that I do on sending pre-approvals or talking with clients is after hours.
Right. And then the other point that I wanted to bring up too is that because of the market that we're in and it's so super competitive right now, I'm actually seeing instructions when submitting offers that are saying that local lenders are preferred over some of the out-of-state banks.
Yeah, we just dealt with one.
We did.
I mean, literally a week ago where whether it was the seller or the listing agent themselves put it in, that basically put in the MLS comments as local lenders are preferred and will get priority.
Right.
Which is huge. So, I mean, for us to have that, and again, you got to go back to why. Why are they asking for that? Our local lenders, we understand the market and what's going on. We understand that a lot of our homes are going over asking price right now. We also have, a huge establishment of established appraisers in the area that are on our appraisal board.
Right.
So, we've already got all of that stuff into place. So usually our appraisals are very quick in the area. I'd say right now we're coming into summer. So, they're going to be asking for 10-day turn times, whereas, in the winter we can usually get a 5-day turn time. And, I think when they see our name come across, we give them enough business that I would like to think, I don't know for sure, but that we maybe get a little bit of priority because we send them so much business.
Right, right.
And then I think, the other factor of local lenders is, we know our title clerks. Our title clerks know us. They've worked with us enough that they know our procedures because every lender does have a different procedure for their closing packages. We offer e-close. And our title clerks absolutely love our e-close program. So e-close is basically when we get ready to close, the majority of the documents will go out to the client's email and they can e-sign those closing documents. And then they only have maybe 10 documents that they actually have to sit down with the title clerk and wet sign.
Nice.
And so it cuts
Instead of
cuts
having
your
a
closing.
stack of papers this tall, when
Yep.
they get to closing, it's this much. now.
Yeah, and it's very small, and it also speeds up the closing process because now, like if your local title clerk, if they happen to skip a page or they don't happen to get it signed in the right place, then we have to come back on closing day and fix that. With e-close, they're signing in the right place. You can't skip over everything. Everything's signed. So it just speeds up the closing process to ensure that we close on time.
Yeah, it sounds super streamlined.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very good process that they've come up with. Hopefully, eventually, we'll get to 100% e-close, but we still have to have notaries and stuff. So I don't know that we'll ever get there, but we're as close as we can get.
We're becoming more efficient all the time, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about the impact of the interest rates at the moment?
So interest rates right now, it's been rather interesting. We're coming off of basically record low interest rates. For the past year, we've had record low interest rates. And I would say that probably the last 60 days, interest rates have been trending upwards. We're still in very low ranges compared to the 30-year average, which I'm not sure exactly what the 30-year average is, but it's in the fives, right? And we're in the threes still for interest rates. So I think, they have trended up a little bit. We did see sometime last summer, end of fall last year, where we were getting into the twos and we were getting some interest rates in there. But we're kind of out of that area now, back into the threes. So
Gotcha.
they're trending up a little bit, but in the scheme of things, interest rates are still very, very, very good.
Totally.
I can remember I bought my first house. My interest rate was 13%. So, to get
Which is crazy compared to like 3%
ridiculous.
to 15%.
Yeah. So, it has trended down, but I will say the last couple weeks, interest rates have kind of trended down again a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what happens as we go into May, because, April of last year, the economy shut down due to COVID. So the economy completely shut down. So what we're going to see in May and what the predictions are is we're going to see pretty big inflation numbers. Probably in the 2s or 3% inflation. So we'll see kind of what happens. Typically in a normal market, inflation helps interest rates. But our interest rate market has not been acting normal since COVID hit. So there were days it's just kind of unpredictable right now. But overall, I would say in the scheme of things, interest rates are still very, very good. Obviously, if the higher we go in interest rates, the less home that you can afford and the less you can be pre-approved for.
True story.
So now is a great time to still get in and buy your dream homes. Prices are going up. It feels like on a daily basis in Boise.
It really does.
It used to be like every 6 months, but now it feels literally like, home prices are rising on a daily basis.
From what I've heard, it's somewhere around 5% a week.
A week, wow. And so it's
for
huge.
New construction.
Yeah, for new construction. And then as, we saw in your last video, the impact of costs on construction and how that's affected pricing as well. So it's definitely, home prices are definitely going up. So I've had a lot of people ask me, is it time to buy? And yes, right now is the time to buy. The other question that's asked always is this a bubble?
Right.
And I truly don't believe this is a bubble. Every single person that I have helped to buy a house, and your clients as well, they're extremely well qualified for their homes, to purchase their home. It's not like in 2006, 7, and 8, where if you could fog a mirror, you got a home. That's not the case now.
Right.
It literally, so
and there's
is there a bubble?
Lot of articles out there right now that are covering that, and they're explaining that it's simply a matter of supply and demand at the moment.
Supply and demand.
That it's not actually a bubble if you define what an actual bubble is. So right now we just have lack of supply, and the demand is just so high because we have so many home buyers that are in the market right now.
And our inventory levels, well, you can answer that better than I can. Our inventory levels are crazy low right now.
It's extremely low, yeah.
So is this a bubble? I truly don't believe it is. I still believe Boise for the next several years anyway, is going to continue to be a hot spot.
Yeah, and
So-
that's what all the research that I've done as well. So, well, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
This
Thank
was
you.
fun.
Thank you.
I hope that you guys got an opportunity to meet who I'm talking about all the time when I'm talking about lenders. This is Bill Haskins with Finance of America. And I'll leave his information down below in the description of this video as well. So if you have questions for him, feel free to call him, text him, or email him. Like we said before, he'll get back to you pretty quickly.
Yeah. And she met me pre-beard, so just so you
I
guys
did,
know.
and you
So
could
this
just call him
is a
Santa.
recent this is just kind of a recent thing. So it's just I've never grown a beard, so I wanted to. So
If you are interested in relocating to the area, down below in the description of the video is also my relocation guide. Don't forget to click that. I hope you guys have a great Friday, and I will see you next week.